video. And on today's video, I'm going to be talking about what an acquisition manager is supposed to be asking, all the questions you're supposed to be asking as an acquisition manager. Or if you don't have a team and you don't have, maybe an office, you don't have really a cold caller and you're doing everything alone, you're doing the acquisition, the disposition. Acquisition just means you're acquiring the deals and you're qualifying them and talking to them and really trying to figure out their situation and really trying to figure out, if they are going to be someone that's going to put money in your pocket, if it's someone that you can help and then you're going to get paid for. This is really what we're trying to identify. We're trying to identify the problem that they're having, how we can solve it. But a lot of people say that over and over. You try to identify the problem, trying to see how you can add value. And you obviously want to do those things, but how do you do those things? There's specific questions that you got to kind of ask to kind of break down a little bit deeper into why a seller might be looking to sell. So right here, today's video, I have everything pretty much that I think is important for you to ask. If there's some things that are not on here, then go ahead and leave in the comment section so other fellow investors like us can just kind of read it off and be like, okay, I should say that. Okay, good. So just in case I don't have it on here, make sure you leave in the comments. But this is everything that I think you pretty much need to ask. Obviously, there's a lot of different questions and some deals take longer than others, but this is kind of everything that I've over these past few, maybe 8 months that I've been working in wholesaling, and I've made over 30,000 in deals so far. But it's not something crazy, but it's achieving for me. So in this video, we're going to go over everything that you should be saying. So first off, I think I even spelled acquisition wrong, but that's not a problem. So first things first is you want to build rapport with the seller. You want to kind of ask a variation of why they're looking to sell. There's a lot of things that you can say, but most of the time, just try to figure out why they're selling. Try to figure out who's living in the property. Try to dig deeper and make a connection with them. Make them feel like you really care. There's a few things that you can do about that. You can actually, if you're face to face with them, it's something with your tonality and your body and, the way you're mirroring them. But if you're on the phone, you can kind of mirror them by just saying, yeah, confirming everything that they say so they feel like you're still on the line with them. Also, another way to build rapport is by knowing a lot of the similar properties in the areas, or favorite schools or parks or, some places that people go to in that area. So you can sound like someone from there, maybe like a friend to them. So, that's pretty cool. That's another way to build rapport. But you should definitely be building rapport with all your clients and everyone that comes into your pipeline. That is going to help you guys close more deals. Now, number 2 right here, there's obviously another important thing. You need to figure out the motivation. You need to figure out what is their real estate goal. Obviously, I try to ask them like how long they live in the property, and then they tell me, I've been living here 30 years or so. And I'm like, okay, well, why is it you're looking to sell? You probably have a lot of memories in this property. And when I tell them that, they really tell me their motivation. They typically tell me why they're looking to sell. But motivation goes a little bit deeper into pain, as you see over here. Pain is really what's bothering them. And pain, when you feel pain, you take action. You get what I'm saying? These two correlate very well. So if you're feeling massive pain, you're going to take massive action. If you figure out why the seller really wants to sell this property, you're going to paint the picture for them and they're going to sell because you put those together. And it's like, why would I not sell? Like, he's right. I don't like this property no more. I don't want to put any more money into it. And I do want to be able to move on to bigger and better things in less than 30 days. And I don't want to pay closing costs. And I really don't want to list with an agent. There's other pains, but you have to figure out the real reason why they're selling. Because selling a piece of real estate, especially when you've owned it a long time, there's got to be a reason why you're selling it. There's got to be a reason, and you got to figure that out. You can typically just ask them why they're looking to sell. But I suggest just calling them, depending on how hot the lead is. Always try to call them here and there. Just ask them a little bit more questions. I'll talk about their day. And then try to ask them why they're really looking to sell. Like, try to break it down and see. Maybe it's because of family, maybe location, maybe money, maybe the property needs repairs, maybe they just lost their job, maybe their relative is dying. So you got to figure that out to really help them out. Now, price. Price. You obviously got to figure out what price is the seller looking to get for their property. There's a lot of ways that you could go about this. You could straight up just ask them what price you're looking to get, but that usually doesn't work well with me. What I typically do is I ask them what they were hoping to get for their property, and what do they think the properties in the area are going for, and is that more or less what they're looking to get for their property. Then, I ask them if they know what their neighbor's house is worth, stuff like that, just trying to figure out if they have maybe a price in mind. But I do let them know that I'm not an agent, and, we're not looking to list your house, that we don't even charge commissions because we're not agents. So, with that being said, we are direct buyers. I do let them know that we kind of need to be a little bit lower because we are direct buyers, and it is kind of expensive for us to purchase properties and as is condition. So I kind of tell them something along those lines. I do want to figure out their price, so always try to figure out different creative ways to ask them for price. And after that, over here, I'm scrolling too down. Reset seller's expectations. What this means is you got to really let the seller know that you're not willing to offer them over market value, that you're an investment company, that you are an investor. You got to let them know straight up that they're really not going to get, how do you say this? That they're not going to get 3 times more than the house's value. That's not even possible. They're not even going to get 2021 standards retail price with you. They're going to get below market value. An as-is transaction, no closing costs, no commissions. You can even take care of moving expenses for them. You got to reset those expectations. So typically what I do, you can either straight up tell them, hey, we are an investment solutions company, and I don't think we're going to be the best fit for you. Let me explain a little bit more on that. The reason I'm saying we're not going to be a best fit is because we like to purchase properties that we can add value to. By the sounds of it, it sounds like you're really looking to get retail, and we're kind of needing to be a little bit below your price. We do need a little bit of room to kind of do renovations to the property, and we are looking to, pay cash, close quickly, take care of those commissions. And that price is just, I feel like it'll put us in an over leveraged type of situation. I feel like your best bet would be going with an agent. I'm seeing properties selling anywhere from 70 to 60,000. Okay, so I'm guessing you can use any one of those, but you need to figure out a way to make sure that the seller knows they're not getting retail. That's all this really means. You can break down the comps for them and tell them, that property on 123 Main Street, yeah, it's 2 blocks down from your house, and it looks similar condition as yours, but they sold it for way less than what you're asking me for. So just want to understand if you've done any other maybe upgrades to the property that would give it this price that you're looking to get. But remember, guys, you never want to say a rude. You just want to let them know that, kind of have an idea where they're at, and make sure that they're aware that you are not going to give them market value. Okay. Over here, why are they selling? You got to figure out why they really are selling. That goes back to motivation and pain. But I have to put it there again because it's very important to figure out why they are selling. If you ask them, where are they going? If they have a place that they're going to after they sell the property, the chances are they're kind of ready to make the decision. They're a hot lead. They're ready to make the choice right now. So they are more on the, got to follow up with them more. Got to call them maybe once a week, twice a week, because they have a place that they're going and they're ready to get rid of this other property. So make sure you ask that question. How they feel about the neighborhood. Want to just ask them if it's maybe their neighborhood, they don't like the neighborhood. Maybe their neighbors next door has a vacant house and they just don't like how it looks. That's just kind of random what I'm saying, but just ask them how they feel about the neighborhood. Do they like the stores nearby? Do they not like the stores nearby? Is crime active in the area? Just ask them things about the neighborhood. Try to figure out, what's really going on in the neighborhood. Timeline. Try to figure out when they're looking to sell. They don't have to make a decision today, but if they did, how long would it really take them to if they were offered something, how long would it take them to close? How much time do they need to move? When are they looking to accept offers? Just try to figure out where they're really at in the whole process. And family. Always make sure that you figure out if the seller has any family, maybe relatives in the property. Just that really helps you build more rapport. That helps you build a lot more rapport. So just ask them about their family, if their kids are in college, if they have kids. What college are they going to? Just try to figure out a little bit more about the family, occupation. Ask them if they work nearby. If they move, is it going to affect their job? Try to, care for the seller. That's how you build rapport. Figure out where they're working. Do they like their job? Are they going to move and find a new job? Just ask them things like that to try to build that more extra rapport. And my best and favorite one that I use for all retail sellers, I always ask them why they haven't thought about going with an agent and why they haven't, or why, what's stopping them, and trying to figure out which path they want to take. If they want to, take the as-is real estate, as-is investment path, or if they want to take the agent path. That's kind of where I kind of gauge them a little bit towards my side, because I do tell them, I'm not going to charge you commissions, and, we're not agents, but we do need to be a little bit more below than agents, because we are direct buyers, and you go forth and explain the differences, and that really helps them make up their mind, because you're gonna have sellers that want a little bit more for their property, but they really don't want to pay commissions, so you can work them down from there, and that's why this is very important to ask them. So we pretty much covered all of them. Make sure you build rapport, find that motivation, the pain, the price, reset seller expectation, ask them why they are looking to sell and where are they going, how they feel about their neighborhood, the timeline, ask them about family, ask about occupation, ask them if they thought about listing with an agent. Those are all things you should be making sure that you ask every single seller. You may not be able to gather this information on the first call, and that's totally okay, because on average, a deal could take 5 to 7 times that you have to talk to the seller for the deal to actually happen. So it's okay if you don't ask them all these questions on the first call. At least you have something to talk about when you're doing your follow-ups and you are calling them then. You could talk about one of these. You could elaborate on one of these. You can, if you already asked them something, or if you already asked them all these questions, you can ask them the next time you call them. Remind them what you guys spoke about. Maybe ask a few questions to ask them to elaborate on certain things that they said. And that really makes it seem, well, you should care, but it makes it seem like you do care. So that really helps when it comes to building rapport, because then the seller feels closer to you. They feel like they could trust you. And it just helps you be the first person they call when they are ready to make an offer.